Have you ever loved someone who pushed you away, only to wonder if they ever regretted it? Avoidant partners often seem unfazed after a breakup, but beneath that calm exterior, there's a storm of emotion that they rarely show. Their feelings are hidden beneath confusion, pride, and emotional paralysis. In this video, I'm going to discuss how avoidants react when they lose someone who truly loved them. Do they regret it? Do they come back? Or do they shut down even more? Well, stay tuned and you'll find out. Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. And welcome back, my beautiful no contact army. Have you been a good little soldier? If you have, then you have downloaded my app Silencio to help you stay in no contact. And the link to that is underneath every single video and podcast. And if you too would like to join our no contact army, just hit the subscribe button and you can read our manual at nocontactsecrets.com, where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. Okay, so at first, after a breakup, avoidants feel a sense of freedom. Their reaction is denial. They convince themselves that they needed the space anyway, that losing you was necessary. No more expectations, no vulnerability, no risk of being smothered. Avoidants are masters of disconnecting from their emotions. They value independence and self-sufficiency more than anything. So when a relationship ends, even if it's a good one, their initial response is usually, well, now I don't have to deal with the pressure of intimacy. So they fill the silence by distracting themselves with work, hobbies, or new flings. Yeah, I know you don't want to hear that. Rationalizing the breakup. Well, we weren't right for each other anyway. Feeling a sense of regained control. Telling themselves, and sometimes you, that they're better off alone. Do you think you're better off alone? What's the name of that song? And if you do reach out, they'll act indifferent or even cold. But this isn't happiness, it's avoidance. Their brain is protecting them from pain by numbing their emotions. For now. Now, contrary to what most people think, avoidants aren't heartless. They're just wired to equate closeness with danger. So when their relationship ends, their nervous system literally interprets it as survival. Avoidants are masters of emotional repression, but feelings have a way of surfacing. Deep down, something begins to stir. Losing the right person isn't the same as losing just anyone. So it may take weeks, months, and yes, even years before they realize what they lost. Oh, I actually miss that person. Maybe they see something that reminds them of you, or they realize no one else tolerated their emotional distance the way you did. It may not be enough to reach out, but enough to cause them discomfort. They may even try to recreate the connection with someone new, only to realize that what they had can't be duplicated. And that's when it hits them. They didn't just lose someone, they lost someone rare. This is when avoidants often start romanticizing the past. They remember how you were patient with them, how you put up with their walls until they slowly started to let you in, how you hung in there, even when they give you a million reasons to walk away. That's when it hits them. They fumbled someone who truly loved them. So, why does this happen? Several reasons. First, there's safety in distance. Avoidants process emotions better when there's no immediate threat of vulnerability. once the relationship is truly over, they may finally allow themselves to feel. Or when they see their ex moving on, or recognize how supportive you were, regret can creep in. That's why if you're dealing with an avoidant, you shouldn't be afraid to show that you're moving on or dating someone new. And people are often reluctant to do that. And in fact, I have a video about that, and I will post the link in the right-hand corner on YouTube. And there's also fear of never finding it again. Avoidants often believe that they're fine on their own until they realize that deep connection is rare. But here's the catch. Even if they miss you, they may not reach out. I know, you don't want to hear that either. Why is that? Well, because reaching out means being vulnerable. It requires them to say, I was wrong, I miss you. And for someone who has always run away from emotional honesty, that level of vulnerability is scary. Their fear of rejection or re-engaging in intimacy often overrides their desire to reconnect. So it's easier to miss you quietly than to risk rejection. And so instead, they'll stalk your social media, but never like anything, casually ask mutual friends about you, compare new partners to you, wonder if you'd even take them back. They're grieving, but they'll do everything to hide it, even from themselves. Avoidants are not emotionless. They're emotionally avoidant. But unless they've done serious self-work, their fear of repeating the same cycle will keep them stuck. Now, do avoidants ever come back? That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the answer is sometimes. Avoidants can return, but only if they've had time to reflect and work on their attachment style. So unless they've done serious self-work, their fear is going to keep them stuck. And for many avoidants, the loss of a meaningful connection is their emotional wake-up call. They may return if they feel zero pressure from you, which is why no contact is so important. They need to be the ones to initiate reconnection because they need to feel in control. And they'll usually send a, hey, how are you? text, or hey, been thinking of you. Or they'll like an old post. They rarely lead with vulnerability. Instead, they test the waters to see if you're still interested. That being said, many avoidants don't come back. Not because they didn't care, but because facing their emotions is too overwhelming. It feels more painful than losing you, as crazy as that may sound. Many would rather stay in pain than risk the emotional vulnerability of reconnecting. So instead, they may idealize you from afar, keep tabs on you subtly, social media, mutual friends, compare new partners to you, but never take action. So what should you do if you're the one they lost? Well, don't wait for them. Live your life. Avoidants respect independence, and your growth might even spark their interest later. And understand it's not about you. I know it feels like it is, but it's not. Their distance is about their fears, not your worth. How people treat you speaks to who they are, not who you are. Usually people's actions have little to do with you and more to do with them and their attachment style and unhealed trauma. And as I said, for some avoidants, losing the right person is the turning point, the moment that forces them to confront the fear that's ruined their relationships for years. However, you have to set boundaries if they return. If they come back, ensure that they're willing to meet you halfway and they're not just popping by when they feel lonely. They need to work on their attachment style, and that should be a prerequisite for taking them back. So understand that avoidants grieve differently. They might not chase, they might not cry, and they might never admit they made a mistake. But that doesn't mean the love wasn't real. It just means their fear was stronger. Avoidants often learn the hardest lessons through loss. They had someone who loved them, but they chose distance over depth. That type of loss does not go away. It lingers. If you love them, you've left a mark that no silence can erase. Your presence mattered more than their reaction will ever show. So cheer up. So now I want to hear from you. How long have you been in no contact, and how is it going? And if you would like my help to get your avoidant ex or any ex back, you can contact me at theartoflove.net/coaching, and we will send you the rates. They are not on the website, and the link to that is underneath every single video and podcast. If you found this video helpful, just hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. If you're listening to this as a podcast and you would like to help the show, then just download it. And finally, remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.